YouTube, welcome back to another video with Wtf Rc Cars. So this is one I've been debating on whether I'm doing or not for quite a while, because if you press the wrong thing when you're in here, you can reset your entire NB4. So make sure you back up your memories and everything first. In the video what I'm going to show you, you basically need to get your mobile phone with either Google Translate app or something that can translate Chinese to whatever language you want to read in, because this hidden menu is all in Chinese. I've not found a way to get it into English. But basically, what you're going to do, you're going to turn your NB4 on with this button held, the trigger all the way forward, and then press and hold the button on the back. And you'll be greeted with this menu. Now, as I say, it's a very useful test menu, and you go through it, you go into each test on each page, and then when it completes, you can press either, I believe the right hand button tells it it's passed and the left hand button tells it it's failed, to what I can work out. I haven't managed to translate them buttons yet. But you can reset you can do a factory reset on the NB4, which I do at the beginning of the video, and I have backed all mine up first. But yeah, use the Flysky assistant to back up all your model memories and everything, unless you really just want to reset it, and then you can go into this menu and you can look through, you can find all the tests for the screen and everything. So if you are having a weird intermittent issue with your NB4 screen or something else, or the touch screen doesn't seem lined up right, or anything else, you can basically run through this menu and run what tests they would run on your NB4 if you had to RMA it or send it back for repair. Also good for if you have to buy a new screen or anything and you want to check, make sure it's aligned properly, make sure the colours are displaying properly. But yeah, hopefully you find this video useful. Please be careful with it and don't accidentally reset your NB4. But let's get into it and have fun. Right, so basically this is the first screen you're going to see when you power it up, and I have worked out if I drop in and out of translate on the phone, I can get it to translate almost all the menus perfect. So the first screen you come across is a whole bunch of tests. The second screen, if we drop back into translate, we've got a whole nother load of tests. Strange one at the top, Bluetooth test. Be interesting to see what that does. And it is a little difficult to read these, because sometimes the translate does it in really small font. But we've got Bluetooth test, switch and button test, rocker and knob calibration, vibration motor test, low power code matching, normal power pairing, and then set transmitter power. So if we drop back to the first menu, let's have a look what we got on that. So the first menu, we have LCD test, touchscreen test, LED test, backlight test, sound test, battery voltage test, and USB test. And then the last screen, and this is the one that I tried, reset remote control. That does actually do a full factory reset on the NB4. But then you've got transmitter test, receiver test, remote control firmware update, high frequency module update, so I'm guessing that's the one in the NB4, and then upgrade receiver, reset NB4, and about NB4. So if we come back to first screen, and I'll show you basically how these are designed to work. So if you go into the LCD test, then every time you touch the screen it'll cycle through all different colours and test patterns, and then you'll get this one at the end. So if we try and translate it, I think it's going to struggle with that. But basically if you press one of these, tells it it's passed, one's failed. So if we try that one, and then we get a tick in the box to say it's passed. So if we go to LED test, And this is basically changing the power light LED, and it's flicking through left and right. I don't know if you can just see it. If I put my finger there, you'll be able to see it. So it's meant to be matching the colour of the screen, so you can tell all your LEDs are working, and it flicks through the different segments. And then you can come back out, and I really wish I could get that to translate. Well, we've got no, so I'm guessing the one on the left means yes. And then if we look, the LED test has now got a tick in the box to say it's passed. So, the interesting one is this one, Bluetooth test. So, I can't get it to translate them all, but we've got take over, send, and power supply. Interesting. So, does the NB4 actually have Bluetooth module built in? Maybe somebody from Flysky can comment on that. Unless that's something that's also going to be added to the Pro as a new feature, maybe. But yeah, interesting menu. And what we got? Set transmission power. So, is this an option where we can turn the power up and down on the NB4? Well, it certainly looks like it allows you to change it. So maybe that'll be something worth... bearing in mind this is on the EU firmware, not the higher powered US firmware. So maybe this is a useful option for getting a bit of extra range out of your NB4. But as I say, be careful with this menu because it is a service menu. And I'm not entirely sure what every one of these does. Basically, I wanted to reset my NB4, so if I go on that one and choose that, and then are you sure, yes or no, so the left one's always yes. So that should power cycle the NB4, I believe, or at least reset it. All data on controller will be reset. Yeah, it swapped me light back to blue, and I should have got no model memories. Yep. So the reset does work. So maybe the altering the power setting works as well. I would be careful with that menu because I'm not sure if you can actually turn the power up to a point where you damage the transmission module. But very interesting and should be very useful for diagnosing issues with your NB4, if not playing around with it or resetting it. Right, so hopefully that'll come in handy for some of you with the NB4. And I'd be interested to know if anybody's got the Pro, if it's got the same feature. See if you can get into the test menu on that. Again, you just hold trigger all the way forward, hold that button and power it up. And hopefully you find it useful, and hopefully not too many of you do anything in there to wreck your NB4. Please be careful with that menu. From what I can tell, the worst you can do is reset your NB4, but I haven't tried everything. And I'm reluctant to touch things that I can't get the translator app to translate yet. But thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you like this kind of video, like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and share to friends and family. And I'll catch you guys again in the next one.